to this, but we don't hold grudges or anything like this on this. We are here to take care of people, not to hurt people.
San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Today I'm bringing you a story of a 29-year-old man who was beaten in San Joaquin County Jail. We're also going to hear from the sheriff from San Joaquin County, and we're going to break down what he says and find some discrepancies in that. Watch the video.
As soon as I get there, the CEOs are being super aggressive verbally, physically. They're just saying smart remarks, real smart remarks, not just to me. And all I said was, why are you guys, acting like this? Like, calm down. It's not that serious. These people aren't doing nothing to you. Everybody's just chill mode. It's like 1 a.m. Nobody's really being crazy. So I just, for me speaking up, I get this done to me.
What happened with Mr. Servin once he got to the jail?
Yeah, absolutely. From what I understand, Mr. Servin was booked into the jail by Stockton police, and he began the booking process at our jail, where we start asking medical questions and things like that, and he became abusive and uncooperative at that time verbally, and so that happens sometimes with people who are under the influence that come into our jail. So our standard procedure for that is to take them over and just place them into a cell. Normally at our jail, you get to sit out and watch TV and relax until they've completed the booking process and find out whether you're going to be released or not. And this time, they, because of his intoxication on whatever, and they took him over to a private cell where he could calm down, and then they could pull him out later to complete the booking process.
So many inconsistencies what we see in the video from what the sheriff said. As you can see, they're all taking him back there. They're all putting on gloves. So why does it take so many deputies to put him in the cell when he wasn't even resisting? Well, the sheriff said that he grabbed hold of the female officer and refused to let go. First of all, the female officer was outside for quite a while, as you can actually see here, and she won't be going in for a little bit. So it's really inconsistent from what he says that he immediately grabbed a hold of her. Secondly, why would the sergeant just stand outside, not getting involved or not even trying to save a woman officer from getting injured, right? Is basically what he said. I think every name and badge number of these officers, all of their information needs to be found, and I think that we need to check for previous and similar incidents in that jail. We also need to call out for a whistleblower, because if there's any criminal activity that's gone on, especially in this situation, in this case, if there's 1 ounce of criminal activity by these officers, then they are all in violation of the law and should all be punished by the law. So that's what we need to do. We need to find out if we can get one of these officers to speak out against all of the rest. The sheriff said that the officers came out bloodied. Where are the injuries of the deputies? Where are the reports? And also, there was a woman, I'm guessing she was a nurse in the area. She went in to check on him, so we also need to find out exactly what was written on that report and make sure that everything is consistent with the video. As you guys can see for yourselves, there's obviously corruption going on in this place and some cover-up going on in this place, and I think because of the allowance of internal investigations and unions, police unions, and qualified immunity, and so many things that we can point out, is the reason why these installations have gone corrupt from the inside out. And we need some of you officers and deputies to start speaking out and against what you see going on, and we need to change it for the better. There are a lot of people getting together to try to figure this out, and I think one of the things that we need to do immediately is change the way the investigations are being conducted and have some kind of outside investigation going on so that we can actually get these deputies in trouble and locked up. It was torture what they did, and in America, torture is not supposed to be allowed. You guys give me your opinion in the comment section. Watch the rest of the video. Thank you.
From what I understand, once they got into the cell, and he became combative at that time once they took one of the handcuffs off. And there were 2 male officers and a female officer in the cell at that time, and he grabbed hold of the female officer and refused to let go of her during the fight and tried to drag her to the ground. He kicked several other officers in the chest and other parts of their body. The fight went on for an extended amount of time, which is unusual. And our sergeant, the supervisor, arrived on scene and began taking control of the situation and directing officers on what they should do. And after numerous minutes of a fight in a jail where the officers were covered in blood and everyone was exhausted, they were finally, after numerous attempts, able to extradite themselves from the cell and get the door closed.
He says that right from the get-go, when he was seated, that the officers started pushing him around, calling him racist names. In his words, he said called a terrorist. He was called an Arab, as he put it. He said, "I'm a native American Indian / Mexican." That he said it was just blue that all of this happened.
As a leader of this community, I'm very disappointed in what happened to Jacob, somebody that we walk the streets with. We're not subjects, we're human beings, and we need to be treated as ourselves. I'm a concerned citizen, born and raised in Stockton, California. I'm in fear of my family's safety, the community's safety, my friends' safety. When they go to if they were to be arrested or anything was to happen while they're in custody of the San Joaquin County Sheriff. I don't know what's going to happen if anybody was to be in that situation again, and if next time they might not make it out alive. I think the sheriff need to be held accountable for their actions immediately, and it needs to happen as soon as possible. Again, I'm concerned for everybody's safety. Thank you.
So that's when they put me in a back room when I got there, and after that they took me to a disclosed location. There's 2 witnesses that seen them grab me, take me to a back room by myself, and that's when they beat me. One held my feet down, one held my hands behind my back, and they beat me like that one by one. They suffocated me. I have screws in my neck from when I went snowboarding, just in March of this year, and I have screws in my neck, and they're pulling my neck backwards behind the seat, trying to snap my neck backwards, suffocating me, and this went on for a long period of time, dude. And they could hear me screaming for help, even though where they took me was in a disclosed location away from the intake, where the population, where everybody's at. People could still hear me screaming, yelling for help, telling these dudes to stop, harassing me, and they're saying that I was combative. What's the standard operation procedure for somebody that is combative?
Okay, do you want to ask it again, or you want me to just
Go ahead and respond to what he had to say.
Okay. Well, I was not in the cell. I know that my officers, we book 23,000 people approximately a year, and we don't have complaints like that ever. And so that would be surprising if to me, if that occurred. The type of officers that I know were on scene there, and the sergeant that was on scene there, that I know personally would never have allowed such a thing. But that's why we do investigations, and we're going to ask everyone that was involved. We began our investigation 2 days ago on this, the night of the incident. So we have been conducting an investigation, and once that's completed, then we'll ascertain all the facts that occurred, and we'll make sure that our officers, if they behaved properly, well then we will credit them with doing their job, and if anyone did something that they were not supposed to do, then they will be held accountable for that.
And so this went on from what he told me, it was around 20 minutes or so. Is that accurate with what you understand?
A 20-minute fight?
Correct. That's what he says.
No, I believe, sometimes when you're under the influence like that, things seem very different than they do in the light of day. But, we have a video not inside the cell because it's against state law for us to have video cameras inside the cells due to privacy issues with inmates that are in there. But we have the video from the time he walked in the booking door till the time he was walked over to the cell, and then the time that the officers were able to get out of the cell. And so that will show exactly the amount of time that everyone was in there.
You know, Sheriff, when you look at these pictures, they're pretty disturbing, pretty shocking. I know you've been in law enforcement for many, many years. Would you term what happened as excessive force against your own officers here?
You know, I would not at this time term it either way. That's why we do investigations, to make sure that the truth comes out. And you're right, I have been in law enforcement for over 30 years, and I have been in many of these fights. And you know, we are trained to react to aggressive behavior towards us. And we use that force only which is necessary to make sure that we stay safe, make sure the subject that we're fighting with, we produce as little damage as possible to that subject. And then we have to think about the security of our facility also. So these are very dynamic, exhausting, dangerous fights for us to be in. And you know, at the jail, you even have less equipment than we do out on the street. They do not carry batons. They don't carry tasers. They don't have any of that stuff to assist them. They are just in a street brawl with somebody who is under the influence and usually not feeling pain like the officers are feeling the pain.
Finally, just on social media, people commenting, one person, and I think a couple others actually kind of piggybacked on what this one person said that he got what he deserved. Did he get what he deserved?
No, we don't look at that way at all. You know, we have people that we deal with on a constant basis that come in and are not acting as they normally would had they not been under the influence. It is not our job to pass judgment on people or to hold them accountable for anything. We are here to care for them while we're in our custody, and hopefully, if they have to stay with us a while, put them out back into society better than the way they came in, if they need help with alcohol abuse or drug abuse or anything like that. No, I don't think that's appropriate either. We certainly do not want anyone to fight or injure our officers, but we know that's a risk every single day. And we wish nothing but the best for this gentleman, and we're sorry that his behavior in our facility led to this. But we don't hold grudges or anything like this on this. We are here to take care of people, not to hurt people.
Okay, Sheriff, thank you very much. Victor, do you have any questions, or anyone else there have anything to ask the Sheriff?
No, not for now. I know I did ask Andrea about the video. I'm not sure how soon would that be available.
Yeah, they're working on it as quick as we can, get it out to you. You know, we've talked about this through our campaign. We're not going to wait the long time and make it. As soon as we can get it out to you, we will. And you know, because it is what it is. If somebody did something wrong, then we're gonna correct that, and we're gonna let people see what we do.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, just to finish off that quote, brother, is that we are caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality. We are tied in a single garment of destiny. What affects one directly affects us all indirectly. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. And we are here because what happened to Jacob has happened to others. We could bear witness to that, and could surely happen to somebody else, and will continue to happen. There is a dark past of corruption in the sheriff's office. There is a past of poor leadership. You don't have to look too far. Google it. We are no longer tolerating this type of injustice in our community. Is it too much to ask for our people to feel safe when they're under the authority of the police department, or the sheriff's department in this case? At this point, enough is enough. We've had enough of this in our community. This is the single one threat to public safety in our community, and we